Okay, I think I can begin. Last time I got cut off. Enough about me. This is Matrix, and this is Flutter, and Clojure, a Lisp. And I get a lot of questions like, well, sometimes questions and sometimes people don't even ask. They say, how do you program with a spreadsheet, right? Because any of us, and there are many of us who have software like Matrix, who try to explain it as a spreadsheet. And I always laugh because I understand that that never works, but I try. But the thing is, it doesn't help. I think that's my latest realization. It doesn't help because the fact is, okay, it's a spreadsheet. Now, how on earth would I program with a spreadsheet? Oh, okay. So the thing is about a spreadsheet, we all understand that it automatically recalculates when we change things. We don't have to write down all the connections. It figures it out for itself, blah, 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 all that good stuff. That's not what you folks who don't understand us folks are bothered by. What you're bothered by is, what does it mean to program with a spreadsheet? Because for one thing, it is a paradigm shift. I mean, it's a real paradigm shift. This is, from procedural to functional to data flow. More than functional. Functional is what it seems to be. But what I realized was after a while, I'm writing all these formulas. Everything is a function of blah, blah, blah. The key to it, though, was that when anything changed, everything got recalculated very efficiently up the dependency graph. And actually, it was not functional. We weren't pulling information. We were setting up dominoes. We were setting up data flow streams so that when the water got released at the top of the hill, it just percolates down naturally. And so that was what I think those of us trying to explain the wonders of our libraries like MobX, Binding, Scala, Hoplon, Javelin. I'm missing if you Solid.js, where granular, property to property, dependency, that sort of thing. We fail to explain it because we're not coming from the standpoint of, okay, we're afraid to ask. This sounds dumb. How do you program with a spreadsheet? So today we're going to look at one because I wanted to. Here is the Flutter the Flutter MX Isolate Explorer. It is got every. Well, actually, no, it doesn't have every feature in the book. It doesn't have isolate groups, but I mean, it's got a lot. It's got run. It's got foundation compute, ISO run, and ISO spawn. And with ISO spawn, you can talk to, you go back and forth, you can pause it, you can ping it now, you can ping it next. And I got probably 10 more buttons to go before I'm finished with this thing. But what I wanted to do was, we had ping. Ping. Do we have ping? We got to. I didn't spawn my ISO. I changed the interface lately so it doesn't start spawned. So okay. So I spawned the ISO. Okay, now I can ping it. Now watch. You got to watch down here where the banner is. I got to make this banner bigger. Ping to me. Ping next. No, I still no idea what the difference is. Don't request exit. Oh, we're dead. Okay, spawn it back up. And then request throw. Throw actually. Oh, and here's the actual the throw. Nice touch. Okay, so let's bring this baby back. By now, I've absolutely corrupted everything right internally. So what I wanted to do next, you see this green loop-de-doo over here? I wanted to do a health check. See, we have ping. Where's ping? Oh, I showed you that. We have ping, but ping is supposed to be used for an automatic behind-the-scenes health check. And I kind of dabbled in it. I didn't get all fancy Dan like a full-blown product or something, but I've kind of got to the point where, let me see. Now this is the guy that's going to slow things down. Watch the green arrow. See what it does. Woohoo! Okay, so that was great. It went from yellow. That was during the first 50 milliseconds. carefully chosen number. All these things would have to be tunable, right? That's why I want to stop here, because next thing I'll be doing a front end interface GUI for the health detector that goes into isolates. You can't stop programming when you have Lisp. Anyway, where was I? So what I wanted to do was, okay, we're pinging. Let's really do a health check. And you're looking at it. Okay, so if you watch, all these guys are pretty fast, right? ISO 9,000,039 is fast because it's divisible by 3. Kind of a short search. And that bounces right back. And then if you watch the second hand, quote unquote, watch this closely. I'm going to hit the button now. You didn't see anything, right? Now I'm going to go check if 9,041 is a prime, the worst possible way one could check it. So it's going to be slow. And I think I'd do it 3 times because it wasn't really. So watch this second hand and then watch. Well, we can do it. We can do it twice. Watch the second hand this time. Oh, nothing. All right. Let's clear. Are we clear? All right. So let's do it again. Did we get the 9,041 answer? Watch it now. This time, so the second hand kept moving smoothly. I forgot that was the whole point of isolates. But watch the busy icon and the health indicator. Oh, it's yellow. Oh, it's red. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, I arbitrarily decided that after 50 milliseconds, it's going to turn yellow because it's like a little bit late. And then after, I forget, maybe 500 milliseconds, it says, oh, it's overdue. And then finally the ACK comes through. And it's requesting all along the way. So it was super late on that one request, but on the other ones it's coming through okay. So it's green, but I can make it get upset again. Oh no! Oh my gosh! Golly gee! Okay, there it is. So how did that work? Well, that's what I wanted to do. I got carried away there. So I said, well, I know I'm going to need a clock to be driving this because I'm going to have to wait a certain amount of time before deciding that there is a problem with the health check. And I would want it to be checking constantly, continually. So, I knew, again, that there would be some kind of timer needed to kick things off periodically. So I ended up with, here's the first thing, a health clock. I won't go into it. I'm just trying to explain to you how to program with Matrix. But what it does is it writes to this property, health check. Every interval, it writes out just a data structure, which says message type health check. Time is now, epoch is now. That's all it does. So that's my health check. So you say, well, Ken, how does that work? Well, we can have side effects on or I should say watch functions on any data point in the entire DAG can have a watch function on it. And that watch function gets the old value, the new value, the object itself, the cell data structure, internal data structure when I'm debugging is handy. So, but that's it. And we just write it, and there's a watch function. Well, what does the watch function do? Let's see. Here's the watch function right here. When there is a check, a health check, do an ISO ping. The ISO, and these are the parameters. We don't need to worry about that, but that's how it happens. That's how the health check goes from being nothing but a stupid object created in Clojure land in Lisp. Well, let's call it FMX, matrix land. The matrix is just a bunch of objects that talk to each other. So in matrix land, we created a health request. Whoop-de-doo. So to make our applications work now with Matrix, which Matrix is super cool. All the elements can talk to each other and share information and trigger things. That's great. But we need an application, right? So this is where we get our application. In this case, here's the code. It actually pings the spawned ISO on the port before next event, whatever that means, and sends nothing but that chunk of data. But now it's actually going over in Dart land and Flutter land to the isolate. So our two worlds, the matrix up here, Dart, Flutter down here, have now communicated. And this guy down here is kicking off the health request gets seen by the handler there. We won't worry about that. And it shoots back the response. And what happens with the response, Ken? So the response, the generic, this is very cool. You got to check this out. The generic, there's a generic handler, the worker listener. It takes whatever information it gets, filters out configs, and slaps it into another property, the worker result. Oh, look, HealthAC is watching worker result. And it's checking the message. It sees all the messages. When it sees a message which is health check ACK, it processes it. And it returns that. And that becomes the health ACK. Oh, that's great. How does the code that checks whether the thing is healthy know that all this is happening? Because, and here's the next guy, the health formula reads the health check and it reads the health ACK. So now it's depending on both of those. And when any information goes either into the check or the ACK, which is important, it goes into the check or the ACK, this guy gets kicked off and says, let me see what we got here. Let me see how the health check was then, the health ACK. Oh, we don't have a health ACK. Okay, so how long has it been? Blah, 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 right? And this is where our intelligence is, our semantic health check is right here in this one property called health. And that is how we program applications that are normally procedural using formulas. First of all, we have handlers. So the health clock effectively is a handler, but it's handling the time change. And what does it do when the time changes? It kicks off a request by making a request that it knows will be echoed over to the blah, 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 to the isolate. And the isolate will then answer, and our handler will write it back into the worker queue. See, we know how that flows. So as designers, we're still thinking, right? We're still creative, we're still ingenious, and all that fun stuff. But we're doing it with dataflow, with arranging, setting up the dominoes in a great Rubik's cube, or whatever, and just setting it up to cascade. And the nice thing about them, there used to be a requirement. It's not documented anymore, but on the Rubik's Cube, I'm saying Rubik's Cube, Rube Goldberg device, I'm so sorry. Rube Goldberg device contest used to have a rule that said a machine, any entry in the contest must run to completion without interruption, once started, without the intervention of anyone on the team. And that is what we are building when we build applications out of formulas. We're setting up a machine knowing that all we got to do is create this little request message. It'll get converted into something suitable for the Dart ping capability, Flutter ping capability, isolate, I'm sorry. It's a method on the isolate class. The isolate ping takes the information in a certain, strict way, so we have to process, convert the message into acceptable format, get it over to the isolate, it responds, and code we didn't look at, and then comes back. And now we're able to write our domain intelligence here that makes the determination. Golly, out of the check and the ACK, how do we look? And you know what? That's how we program with Matrix. Hope that was helpful. Cheers.